Hello everybody, this is Dr. Samuel, and today we move on to question 3 of the 2021 CSEC examination, that is the July examination. The first part of question 3, question 3A, is really a basic geometry question. The sum states, the diagram shown here shows the triangle PQR, in which angle QPR, that is shown here, is 62 degrees, and angle PQR, as this angle here, is 90 degrees, and you're given the length of PR as 11 centimeters. Part 1 of the question said, calculate the size of angle PRQ. Now, basic geometry really requires you to remember certain rules, certain geometrical rules. And the most basic rule for a triangle is that the sum of the angles in any triangle equals 180 degrees. And so therefore, in order to get the value of angle PRQ, we have 2 angles already in the triangle, and we have to find the third angle. So we simply add the 2 angles and subtract from 180 the sum of the 3 angles. So therefore, it is 180 minus, and then you put it in bracket because you're subtracting the sum of 62 plus 90. And so calculator work. When you do that, you should get the answer as 28 degrees. And that is part 1. Move on to part 2, where we have to find the length of the side RQ. Anytime we are dealing with right angle triangles, there are 2 important geometrical laws that you must remember. The first one is Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras' theorem is where you are given 2 sides of the triangle and you want to find the third side. That is not the case here. The other rule concerns trigonometrical ratios, which I will show you right now. The trigonometrical ratios are sine, cosine, and tangent, and these are given to you in the CSEC examination. As shown here, in any right angle triangle, you can name the sides based on a given angle. The side opposite the right angle is called the hypotenuse. And given the angle here is labeled as theta, the side opposite that angle is called the opposite side. And the other side, which is next to the angle, the one that is not the hypotenuse, is the adjacent side. Based on that, we define the trigonometrical ratios of the angle based on these 3 sides. The first ratio is sine. Sine of the angle equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. the length of the opposite side over the length of the hypotenuse. The cosine of the angle equals the length of the adjacent side over the length of the hypotenuse. And the last one is tangent. The short is tan. Tan of angle theta, the angle, equals the length of the opposite side over the length of the adjacent. You could use the appropriate ratio to find either an angle or a side if you know either two other sides or another side and an angle. It's based on the problem. So let's go back to the problem, and we see that we have to find the side RQ. The angle we have is 62 degrees. So we note that RQ is the opposite side. And the side we have, the 11 centimeters, is the one opposite the right angle. It is the hypotenuse. So the trigonometrical ratio we use will be the one involving opposite and hypotenuse. And you can see in the ratios here, it is sine. Sine of the angle equals the length of the opposite side over the length of the hypotenuse. So let's just substitute the values. Sine of the angle. So we have sine of the angle, which is 62 degrees, equals the opposite side. We don't have it, so we just put RQ, and that is what you want to find. Over the hypotenuse, which is 11. So now we have to rearrange that equation to have RQ alone on one side. To get RQ alone on this side, you simply multiply by 11. So basically you multiply both sides by 11. So we are going to get, when you multiply that right side by 11, we'll get RQ because the 11 will just cancel out. So RQ equals 11 multiplied by sine 62. We don't have to put the multiplication sign. We just put 11 sine 62. That means 11 multiplied by sine 62 degrees. To find this now, we use our calculators. So I will get my calculator. Calculator is here. I'm going to multiply 11 times the sine of 62. Now calculators have slight differences. So the way I'm doing it on my calculator may not be exactly the same way you do it on your calculator. So I have 11 multiplied by, I'll press the 62 and the sine button for me, which is up here, equals. And we get the answer as 9.712, etc. But we bring it to the same number of significant figures we have in the sum, which is 2. So we put the answer as 9.7 centimeters. Make sure you put your units. And that is the answer for part 2. So that's it. Next time we'll move on to the next part of question 3. As usual, if you like this video, press the like button, and also press the subscribe button if you would like to receive more videos like this. See you next time.